All right, what's up, Mike? So we are talking today about mobility. So if somebody comes to you and they say, I am starting a mobility routine, I know what I need to do, but I just can't get started. Like, how often does that happen? So what we're doing is we're assuming that they have already they already know kind of what exercises to do and what their problem areas are. All right, go.
So if they already know what they need to do, then the biggest thing is figuring out like where can they do it or when can they do it, and then also figuring out what's the amount that they can do in that period of time. And I like to make that as small as possible, I would say. And then the third thing would be, oh, what's it? What's the third thing? I
Are
don't
we
remember the third thing.
so all right, you got the smallest dose, okay? And then
Mm-hmm,
you said you have to make the time to make
mm-hmm.
your and you called it this, and I thought this was a great word, is a habit sandwich.
Right, right.
So tell us about like what's the habit sandwich?
So the habit sandwich is when you are already doing something throughout your day, and we're trying to think of this like a daily model. So you're already doing something throughout the day, and then you're doing the thing you want to do right after that, and then you have something that you're already doing again right after that. So you have the things you're normally doing, and you take the thing that you want to do, and you put it right in the meat of the sandwich, basically. And what that ends up doing is it ends up giving you a cue and a reminder at the start time and at the end time, especially if you miss that habit. So, a habit sandwich, good example would be something like um, usually in the morning, I get coffee and then I go to the bathroom soon
Perfect.
after that. Yeah. So, somewhere in between, well, after I get coffee, but before I go to the bathroom, that would be a good
That
time to
might be,
do.
first of all, that might be dangerous, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yes. And you might find that you have to go to the bathroom way too soon after you have the coffee for that to be the place where you put your new habit.
Okay.
But if it's small enough, you can put pretty much anything there. So that's the other thing with the time piece. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing, like I really don't like anything more than 2 minutes. I almost feel like that's a stretch at first. And it's got to be so small almost that it feels kind of dumb, if that makes sense. Like, how is this going to turn into a routine? Kind of dumb.
Yeah.
And then you're probably in the right place in terms of the size of how how much you're going to do basically in that time. So if I was going to do like squats, for example, or if I was going to do a hang stretch,
Hmm.
then you would do that for 30 seconds maybe before you go to the bathroom after your coffee, for
Perfect.
example. And then that would be the thing you would do. And then you would try and figure out, oh, yeah, how often you would do it. That's the third thing. So once you do that, if you figured out the smallest dosage and you made that habit sandwich, then you want to try and repeat that about every 24 to 48 hours, I would
Okay.
say, as long as it's not something that your body is having a hard time recovering from. But if it's small enough, that shouldn't be the case anyhow, basically. And then as time goes on and you get into that routine and you get like a really good frequency going, it, it's pretty obvious to most people when it's a good time to increase it. I would just say that um, don't increase it a lot, just kind of gradually increase it over time. Don't take big jumps at first.
All right. I love that answer. And so I'm just going to recap it real quick and give you my example. And then I think we have an awesome plan for this small mobility routine. Okay. So the
Mm-hmm.
smallest dose that I can do, and I want to put it in between a habit sandwich. And so I think I get coffee in the morning. And then right after coffee, I usually go drop the kid off at the bus. And so that's a perfect actual time for me. What I like to do is I have my coffee and then I can hang on the counter and do some like low squat holds, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
followed by a couple squats or some reverse lunges, all within a couple minutes, all while my coffee is being made. And then I'll have that ding at the end that I have to go drop the kids off at the bus. So it's not really adding a whole lot more there. And I'm having the habits that I already have at the beginning, at the end, at that habit sandwich. And then I personally can repeat that every 24 hours. So
yeah, yep, pretty much.
Right. That's how you start a mobility routine.